Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to improve the morale of your tech team. Now, depending on what sort of organization you're working in, what sort of culture the organization has, the tech team could be respected, well cared for, and have good relationships with other parts of the organization. Or there's the other extreme where the tech team is looked on as the enemies of the organization because they introduce new technology, and people in the organization feel like, all the tech team does is change things on them. And there are various reasons for all of this, and it is to do with how changes are communicated, how the culture of the organization is, how leadership has been involved with those technology changes and the benefits of it, how things are communicated with staff and everyone else, and how much involvement you have with other members of the business with new technology that you're trying to introduce. There's multiple issues there. If you're on the negative side of the perspective where people think that the technology team is the enemy, and it takes a lot of effort to go from that to being loved and respected. It's not impossible, but there is stuff that you can do to go from this end of the spectrum to that end of the spectrum. And maybe I'll cover something of what I was able to do in a couple of organizations that I worked with in the past to bring that sort of respect to the team, as well as some organizations where that didn't happen because of certain political factions in the business, let's say. So I'll cover those things in the future episode, but morale of your team, no matter which end of the spectrum that you're in, you still have to work on your team, support them, give them the morale boost that they need. Especially those who are on the front line need a lot more support and care from us technology leaders. Whether they're the help desk staff, they're the level 2 escalation staff, they're usually the front end of your business. And they're the ones who get hit by all the complaining, the trouble, and they're the ones that always have to deal with that sort of issue. So a few things that can be done is, one, being there, supporting them, coaching them, working with them on occasion to show them that you are also part of that team. You also are putting yourself in that situation and place, no matter what your title is. And this means in certain organizations might have spikes and drops in terms of when customers come needing service. So depending on the times, when you generally have spikes, having more team members support the front staff, or even you booking yourself in for an hour or two, a couple of times a week or once a week to be in the front, helping them out, supporting them, means that they see that you care and you're there with them to support them. But also means that you can see the kind of troubles and issues that they're dealing with, the kind of attitudes that they're dealing with from other customers, and then you can work on ways to mitigate some of those attitudes and issues that then helps improve the customer experience. And when we improve customer experience, the experience of our staff also improve, because it's a flow-on effect. When customers are happier, they're more likely to have more patience with our staff when they come for any issues that they may have, and also communicating that sort of value. And the other thing that we can do is appreciating them publicly, which means if you have like a weekly or fortnightly or monthly technology newsletter of sorts that you send to the whole organization, praise the front staff and your other staff on the work that they've been doing, the amount of work that's come in, and how they've been able to process and work on them and fix issues in a timely manner. All of these things, if you can praise them, support them, And also when you find that the amount of work coming in is a lot more than what your front end staff can cope, making sure that you work with the management of your business to get more staff to support them. Because at the end of the day, if you are seeing a lot of incoming inquiries, even after you've fixed all the systemic issues and all of those things, then and you've done some analysis on understanding what the issues are. If it's more issues around people needing training, then ensuring that you have some form of training that you can support your users with helps. But beyond all of that, you see that people needing face-to-face support is the need is there, then yes, you can put a proposal in with all the data and case scenarios saying these are the reasons we need someone extra in our front desk so that they can support the staff and give them a great experience, which means improvements in productivity and all of those sort of things. So if you can substantiate that, you're more likely to get funding for new staff and be able to get the resources that you need to be able to give great customer experience. And when you give great customer experience, you get better outcomes overall for the whole organization. So improving morale, making sure that you take care of your team, be a buffer for them and protect them from unnecessary elements, making sure that you aim for customer experience and supporting your front-end staff by either having more resources at certain times of the day depending on the fluctuations you have, having systems and processes in place that they get the support that they need and they feel like they can come and ask for extra support if they need it, and praising them in public, showing the organization that they are doing a lot of important work. They're doing work that provides that customer experience and improves that customer experience. So you've got to constantly, in a sense, be marketing the fact that you have a specific number of team members and the amount of work that's coming in and being processed and being completed effectively is great. Ensuring that they get the praise that they deserve as well as the support that they deserve is very important. Having the right kind of training so that when some of the issues and questions come up, your front-end staff can redirect them to the training rather than having to work through a lot of the same repetitive things. All of these things support your team members and help them with that. And then beyond all of these work-related things, a couple of things that I found very helpful with my teams is having some form of a fun thing to do in the Friday afternoons. Depending on your organization, you might be able to have a drink together or have some food together, do something on a Friday afternoon after most of the work is done, that your whole team, the tech team, can get together, have a debrief, so to speak, of the week, all the stuff that they've dealt with, and have a bit of a fun time chatting, having a bit of banter, have some food or a drink or whatever it might be, and be able to de-stress as well. The other final thing that I found useful and helpful is on monthly or quarterly basis, as a team going out for dinner or lunch and just being able to have time together. It helps in a morale factor because it allows you a space outside of work to go and get things out of your head, so to speak. You can talk about work without worrying about anyone hearing you. You can just let it all out. It's a good experience to be able to have lunch or dinner together. You get to know people on a more deeper level, you get to support them on a more deeper level, And you also get to build relationships together as a cohesive team, which means you support each other when you're at work as well as with other things outside, which builds that friendship and camaraderie that helps build the morale overall as well. So having all these things like systems in place, processes in place, training to support end users, working with your management to ensure that you get the right amount of resources required for the effective operation of your team and the organization, as well as doing social things together, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner as a group that you go and have outside of work, as well as probably a Friday afternoon if it's some form of either drink, some food, something that you can share together, sit together, have a chat, and have that debriefing time. All helps in improving the morale of people in the team, as well as knowing that you are there to support them and that you care about them is very important. You may do that already, but not show it in tangible ways that each person understands. So understanding each person's way of operation and way of feeling cared for means you can then do all these things, which touches upon multiple aspects of people feeling cared for and praised and respected as well. It's a feeling of significance that comes in. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some ideas of things to do that you can support your team and help them build their morale up, and then support them and help them have the fulfillment that they can have at work, doing their best work while having a bit of fun along the way. Hopefully that helps you out. I wish you all the best in your journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. If you liked this episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button so that you're notified of future episodes as they're released. I look forward to talking to you in a future episode. Take care.